On the morning of January 11th, 2013, a 17-year-old high school student failed to return home in Valdosta, Georgia. At first, no one panicked. Teenagers stayed out late. Phones died. Plans changed. But as hours passed, something became impossible to ignore. Kendrick Johnson had vanished inside his own school. Kendrick Johnson was a student at Lowndes High School. He was an athlete, a wrestler, strong, competitive. Friends described him as energetic, disciplined, and focused on sports. He had plans for college, plans that revolved around athletics. He didn't disappear without reason, and he didn't walk away from his routine. On the night of January 10th, Kendrick attended a party. Witnesses later said nothing unusual happened. No fights, no arguments, no threats. After the party, Kendrick went home. The next morning, he left for school as usual. That was the last time his family saw him alive. Later that day, students entered the old gym at Lowndes High School. In one corner of the gym were large wrestling mats. They were rolled upright, stored vertically, heavy, hollow in the center. Inside one of those mats, students noticed something disturbing: a pair of legs, upside down. Kendrick Johnson's body was found headfirst inside the rolled wrestling mat. He was dead. The discovery sent shockwaves through the school. Police arrived. Administrators cleared the building. News spread rapidly through the community. Almost immediately, authorities proposed an explanation. They said Kendrick had climbed into the mat to retrieve a shoe. They said he had become stuck. They said he suffocated. They called it an accident. Kendrick's family rejected that explanation. Immediately, the positioning of his body raised questions. He was found head down, arms pinned. His shoes were not beneath him. They were found beside the mat. More troubling was the condition of his body. When Kendrick's family requested an independent autopsy, they received devastating news. His organs were missing. Authorities said they had decomposed. But the explanation didn't satisfy medical experts or the family. The official autopsy ruled Kendrick's death accidental. Positional asphyxia, no foul play. Case closed, but for Kendrick's parents, the case was just beginning. They began asking questions about the timeline, about surveillance footage, about injuries. Security cameras inside the school showed Kendrick entering the gym. They did not show him climbing into the mat. They did not show him struggling. They did not show him retrieving a shoe. Even more troubling, certain segments of surveillance footage were missing or overwritten. The family also learned something else. Several students who may have seen Kendrick that morning were never interviewed, or were interviewed briefly, then dismissed. Rumors spread about bullying, about rivalries, about past conflicts. Kendrick had been involved in disputes with other students, including students connected to local law enforcement. That detail mattered. Witnesses later claimed Kendrick had been seen in the gym with others, that he had argued, that he had been attacked. Those claims were disputed. But they existed. The family hired independent pathologists. Their findings contradicted the official report. They suggested Kendrick had suffered blunt force trauma, that his death was not accidental. Legal battles followed. The Johnson family sued the school district. They accused officials of negligence, of covering up evidence, of rushing to close the case. Authorities pushed back. They defended the ruling. They said the evidence did not support homicide. But public scrutiny intensified. National media covered the story. Protests were held. The case became a symbol of mistrust, of systemic failure. of a family fighting institutions larger than themselves. Experts debated the feasibility of the accident theory. Could a 17-year-old athlete climb headfirst into a mat? Could he become stuck without making noise? Could he suffocate without signs of a struggle? Opinions were divided, but doubt remained. The handling of Kendrick's organs became another focal point. His body had been stuffed with newspaper, an unusual practice, one that compounded the family's grief. No criminal charges were ever filed, no arrests, no trial. The case remains officially classified as an accident, but unofficially, it remains one of the most controversial deaths in recent history. For Kendrick's family, the truth was never delivered. Only explanations, and explanations were not enough. Kendrick Johnson went to school expecting a normal day. He never came home, whether he died in a tragic accident or something far worse is still debated. What is not debated is this: the answers provided did not bring peace. Kendrick's story continues to divide, to anger, to haunt. Because when a young life ends under unclear circumstances, silence becomes suspicion. Kendrick Johnson was 17 years old. He had plans. He had strength. He had a future. He vanished in a place meant to be safe, surrounded by cameras, surrounded by people. And yet, his death remains one of the most disputed in modern American history. Until every question is answered, until every gap is filled, Kendrick Johnson's story remains unfinished.